What's up, you ILUS Army and moneymakers? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to cover a couple of things about ILUS. One is we want to review how ILUS performed last week, and we also want to talk about what is that ILUS can bring us in next 4 weeks from now, because there are a couple of catalysts that are coming up that can 2x the price point for ILUS. In other words, we can see about 40 and potentially 50-cent level for ILUS in upcoming few weeks. So let's talk about all that. As you know, ILUS has been trading a little bit into the red for last few days. If you take a look last trading session, we are down 1.18%. By the way, I just wanted to also remind you that tomorrow is the Martin Luther King holiday, so the market won't be open. So bond and stocks are not going to trade tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. The second reminder is hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. That is tremendous help to this channel, and we can share this video with more and more people. Doesn't really cost you anything. So in return of this analysis and research that I'm sharing with you, all I am asking of you is just hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We are almost at 15,000 followers. I cannot believe, and I did not really plan for 15,000 followers just yet, but your help is gracious help is really appreciated. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Now let's take a look what ILUS did. As I mentioned, 1.18% down in last trading session. For last 5 days we are flat. We are 2% down in last 5 days, but we were at 27 cents. We went down almost at 22 cents. We got back up to 28 cents and closed at 28 cents. Or another stock, CYBL, also pretty much did the same thing. We started with 2.2 in last 5 days. We started with actually 2.4 and we're down 14%. So it was also in red. There is a great future coming up for CYBL as well. But I wanted to quickly go through NASDAQ and how NASDAQ performed in last 5 days. Take a look very precisely the way ILUS performed in last 5 days. We went down, we went up, and we are consolidating. Very similar. NASDAQ, we started with 14.6, we went down, we went up, and we went almost 15,200 levels. We got back down and we consolidated. So in my opinion, there is massive potential for both NASDAQ and ILUS to go back up. Now, what I want to talk about precisely in terms of the 2x catalyst, one of that is the news and financial earning around what ILUS did in terms of the revenue, not only in Q4 2021, but the entire 2021. We remember ILUS was a very small company, started with about $500,000 in revenue in Q1, and exponentially it just went to $6.5 million in revenue, total revenue year to date in Q3, at the end of Q3. What we are looking forward is what ILUS can bring us as a whole year. So that's one of the big catalysts. The second one I want to talk about is ILUS Stock to us precisely while we are at the various stages of completing several important milestones. We are currently working on completing 4 big pieces of news announcement over next week or 2. So that was on January 6th. We are almost January 16th, 17th and 18th when the market will be open, and we can expect some of the breaking news, some of the great news from ILUS. One of that they already covered, so I'll talk about that. They're pretty close. We received the confirmation, as ILUS mentions in this tweet on January 14th. We received confirmation from our next acquisition. The signed completion documents can be expected soon. This and more to be announced through the wires next week. So that is going to add a ton more fuel, a ton more juicy stuff that I will be sharing with you on this channel as well. So don't miss out on that. There is a great catalyst. Number 1 is the earning. Number 2 is this particular announcement around the acquisition. Number 3 could be a small catalyst, but I want to really cover that has nothing to do, in my opinion, right at this point with the stock price. But let's take a look. They have launched ILUS coin on coin marketplace. We'll always deliver, stay tuned. So I went ahead and took a look into the Twitter pages. They have 25,000 followers. As you see right here, it was trading at 25 cents, very small volume. Take a look right here, 23 and 9, so 24 cents right now. We see almost $80 trading volume, just getting started. Just wanted to share this information with you. Fully diluted market cap of $21 million, and as as you see, there is not a ton of fluctuation and ton of volume just yet, but just to keep in mind that this is already launched, which is once again a catalyst more or less for ILUS because they're correlated, same company, so on and so forth. But I do not really see a point right now, the correlation between that particular cryptocurrency as well as the stock. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor. These are my personal thoughts and opinions, so do your own due diligence. ILUS is part of my portfolio, which is a high risk, high reward. I do not invest a ton of money. I only invested what I'm willing to lose, and I can ride for free as well because there's a ton of catalysts coming up, ton of momentum going on. We have seen 50 cents, we got back down to 25 cents. Once again, if someone buys at 25 cents, let's take an example. Let's say 100 shares, so not a ton of money. It goes up to 50 cents, share 50 of your shares and hold on to the rest 50 shares, which is now for free. So you can play this game in multiple ways. Many people are there as well who are going to hold for a long period of time. But what I usually do in OTC and penny stocks, in my opinion, is just ride for free is the best option, so that you can ride up until the end and you may see a very silver lining that you're looking for into your portfolio, which is once again, you're riding for free, so there is zero risk to lose your own investment. Now, take a look what else ILUS has been talking. So one of the things that you want to notice is this acquisition news. The second news is once again what we have seen into their newsletter. They're going to share a ton of information. They shared some juicy information around their communication, what they're going to do. There is a shareholder meetup and annual meeting coming up as well. They're going to announce 4 big news pieces of information as well. Acquisition update, that is the second bullet or second headline that they have on their shareholder newsletter that they shared with us last week, which is going to be amazing as well. The third thing is product update. They're working with BCD Fire. They're talking about metaverse and bringing in some of the virtual reality into their training software, and they want to change the game. The company that did not really have foot in the door in the United States, now they have 3 acquisitions that they have done in 2021 and many more coming in 2022. Astronomical European deal that is once again a big catalyst in my opinion that can change the game. Shareholder meetup or meeting coming up very soon, and due to this pandemic that is going on, that can impact more or less, but the stock is not going to stop. The company is not going to stop. The executives are working day and night to hit the goals and targets. And the last but not the least, they're also talking about the SEC and the administration stuff. They want to get listed on NASDAQ, and they gave us a hint around the proposed and intended spin-out plan, which is in my opinion also a pretty good catalyst if you think about it, because that will be structuring the company itself in the way they want to operate and the profitability, and that will bring a ton more value for their investors, their shareholders. They're also talking to some of the financial institutions, investors that can invest into the company, that can add a ton of value as well. They're going to get audited and they will have audited paperwork as well, so we're looking forward for that. Now let's take a look what they have done in terms of the volume. The average volume is 12 million. As you see, our volume for last trading session was 8.8 million, so the volume was lower. And not only in ILUS, we have seen for multiple OTC penny stocks that the volume went down, and we are hoping to see that getting back up because we are still into the OTC and penny stock season. Now, if you take a look once again into the historical volume, as we dropped from 28 cents or 32 cents rather, from 32 cents we dropped to 28 cents, and we started seeing volume going up. So that was all the buying volume. If you take a look into the short sell volume, I do not really see a high short volume ratio, even though the stock price went down. We saw 26, 23, 18, 23. So somewhere in 20s, mid 20s, or maybe lower 20s as well as below 20 was our short volume ratio. As you can see, 8.8 million of total volume brought us the short volume of 2 million, which puts them to 23.10. So all I'm trying to say is what we saw, the dip into the price point, has nothing to do with the short volume, if that justifies from the numbers. Now, what else you want to also further look into, whenever ILUS goes down, there is higher buying volume or green candle that we start seeing. When it went to 22 cents, take a look. 13, 14, 15 million volume was there, and right now we're back last trading session almost 28 cents, and the volume dipped under 10 million. So you want to take a look. So there might be some swing traders, there might be a ton of investors. For a long time that has been happening. Now one thing that you want to notice is we have a pretty strong support at 25 cents, and why I'm saying a strong support, every single time it goes to 25 cents we start seeing a pretty good green juicy candle, as you can see. Now when it spikes up 27, 28 cents, we also saw the red stick up. As you can see, the red bar, that red bar suggests the selling volume and not necessarily buying volume. But hey, when the stock goes up, we will see some of the selling happening. The healthy selling is happening because the way it's going to work is it will have to add more fuel before it can spike and skyrocket once again. Now the stock market in general, NASDAQ and Dow Jones, were not even super steady, so I wouldn't blame ILUS just yet. But if you take a look, our RSI looks pretty healthy. 57 RSI suggests not an overbought, not an oversold condition, so you want to take a look into that. Now one thing that you also want to notice right here, 24.85 was a pretty big resistance last time when we tried to cross that particular price point. If you take a look on 12th of January and prior to that as well, which becomes a pretty strong support. So in my opinion, we did not really see the 22 cents that we were cautious about. That we don't really want to see 23, 22 cents that we saw back in the days, and that precisely worked out pretty well. So let me show you the 3-month chart, and you should be able to see that pretty precisely, that when we went to 19 cents we skyrocketed once super quickly. We were hoping to stay about 25 cents last week, which we did. We never went below 25. Well, we went to 22.90, but then we got back up pretty quickly and we were closed at 26 cents. So we did not really close below the level that we were not hoping for, which is once again a good news. Now, if you think what happened in the past right here, that our line for 29 cent worked as a pretty good support. Now, if we sustain and if we cross this particular 27 cent price point, take a look, 27 goes back down. Once again, 27, 28 goes back down. So if we go above, once again, 27, 28 cents, and if we sustain, then if we close there, there's a strong possibility that we will see all the way up to 31 cents, as you see on my screen mouse cursor right here. But if you take a look at last 5 days, our moving average moved into the positive direction. The red line that you see, the red graph that you see right here, is the moving average for last 5 days that was going higher and higher. It made higher lows, which I usually love to see because it won't really go into one direction. It will go a little bit of a zigzag. We want to see less of a zigzag, and at the same time we want to see higher and higher and higher lows, at the same time higher and higher and higher highs, which is what precisely happened last week. So take a look, last 5 days we saw 23, we went to 24.49 or 24.5 cents, we went to 25 cents, and we are pretty much around 25 cents. That's something I like to see. If you take a look at MACD, the blue or the green is the MACD, the orange is the signal. MACD looks pretty okay to me as well. Not 100% okay, but it's okay. But the way you see the clear drop into this red line, the clear drop into the moving average that we saw pretty precisely, pretty dramatically from 30 cents to 25 cents, it can precisely go back up the same way. I just wanted to mention that over to you as well. If you take a look at 6 months, and I want to really show you the 5-minute chart, that way we can see how quickly we can go up. So take a look what happened in the past, and that will give you some of the idea as to what you can expect in upcoming future as well. So if I go to the left side, if the chart allows me, it actually does not, but let's take a look once again to the 6 months, and right here. So from, if I go back and we quickly got back from from 47 cents. So it does not show me, unfortunately. So I do not really have a graph to show you right now. But my point is we can quickly go back from this 40 or 25, 26 cents to 40 and 45 cents based on the way the moving average jumps up that we have also seen in the past. So if you take a look, it went just in one direction. So from 38 or 38 cents we went to 48 cents pretty quickly. The same way we can go. Unfortunately, I'm sorry I don't have a graph, but I hope you got the idea. So 2x catalysts that you want to remember for next week or upcoming next few weeks. The number one is you want to keep an eye out around the earning. Number two, we want to keep an eye out around the acquisition news as well. The profitability is going to add the fuel and a ton more value. The next thing is we are not expecting a ton more announcement from Fed next week and next couple of weeks. However, it can basically impact the market. Now, entire market situation can also impact OTC plays as well, including ILUS. And we have seen the correlation, the way it happened very precisely to what happened to NASDAQ as well. We also want to keep an eye out as to what happens to the shareholder meeting and some of the upcoming catalysts and some of the announcement that ILUS is going to make. I hope you like this information. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do your own due diligence. I hope you can make 2022 such a great year or bigger and better year than what we did in 2021. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.